This is Jeff Cochell at the end at Spanish Head. You're sure that others want too much and they want to destroy what belongs to you, and that they won't show it what they have. You think others are greedy, envious, and jealous. There's a whisper of truth in these ideas. Certainly some people are greedy some of the time. Others are sometimes full of envy and jealousy, and if you're paranoid, you've probably gotten very good at spotting those situations. Occasional moments of greed, envy, and spotting those situations are all part of being human. Maybe not the best part, but undeniable nevertheless. The problem with paranoia is that you greatly exaggerate others' amount of greed, envy, and jealousy. That's because you're giving your own feelings away again. We're right back to facing the truth. You've got to see yourself as you are, a sometimes greedy, envious, jealous, and even lusty human being. Maybe you're worried that you'll be a sinner by facing this truth. But recognizing and accepting your anger and greedy thoughts doesn't make you a sinner. The thoughts have been there all along. Remember, you just tried to give them to others because you could not accept them. Now you need to separate your urges, legitimate or not, from the urges of others. That can help you be more honest, fair, and good. Every time you think others are greedy, envious, or jealous, ask yourself these questions. What do I want too much of? What do I want to destroy that belongs to someone else? What do I want to take that belongs to others? Think about think about these ideas carefully. You can keep these thoughts in your head, or you may want to write them in your paranoia notebook. This is your private journal, so be totally honest and include your sexual desires, the ones you give away. For instance, you may think your partner wants to play around. There's no evidence though, so who's that you want to have an affair with? I'll see you later. Alright, this is in a Spanish Head, take two. Learn to trust. When you're going to Shepard describing how paranoid distrust just about everybody. But now it's clear what it's all about. They distrust so much because they've given away all their anger, greed, and lust. In addition, they are totally afraid that others want to attack them. I'm innocent and vulnerable, says the paranoid. You're mean and nasty and you want to hurt me. Well, what's wrong? Others are not out to get you. They've got lots better things to do with their lives than spending all their days trying to ruin yours. You can learn to trust more, of course. You must give up playing the injured victim, and you must accept your anger as yours, not theirs. Most people decide on the evidence whether or not to trust. They usually believe in someone until he or she does something wrong. If someone screws them over, they fight back or get fast away. That's all we ask. Let the evidence take the issue home. God damn it, dude. However, even fact-finding may be a problem if you're paranoid. You may not be a good judge of the evidence. You may be too eager to prove others are bad. You only search for negative hints and clues. You'll ignore good things. You become awfully good at looking through the whole crate to find one bad apple, and you claim that the whole bushel is rotten. So here are suggestions by at least two people who aren't paranoid. Ask them to help you learn how to trust others. When you start getting suspicious, defensive, or jealous, call them up immediately. Before you become absolutely certain you're victimized again. Tell them what you think you saw or heard. Have them carefully review your evidence, which will often turn out to be vague. Have them ask you if there are any other explanations for what you think or heard. Maybe they can help you see things in a different light. And don't forget to check your own anger at the door. In a Spanish Head, take three. What would you die for? Moral anger. Would you sacrifice to save your children from a fire, to save a neighbor's child? Would you die for a cause such as defending democracy or religious beliefs? Or would you be willing to lose a job over? Would you blow the whistle on cheap building practices that harm the general public? Would you risk losing your job by confronting your boss who is sexually harassing you? Would you resign to protest unethical hiring or firing practices that didn't directly affect you? What would you fight for? Would you get into politics to campaign for a certain party or platform? Get into a fist fight to defend your honor? Would you ever risk a jail sentence by taking part in a street protest? If so, what over? These are examples of moral anger, the anger people feel when their values or beliefs are threatened. Moral anger goes by other names. Ooh. One of them is outrage. Another is righteous indignation. Outrage occurs when people commit a suicide or horrible acts such as killing a child. People feel shocked, alarmed, and furious with the offender. Righteous indignation occurs in response to injustice. People fight for truth, justice, and fairness. At least they see it. There's much more moral anger, often called judgmental. Moral anger has great value. Here's an example. Once one worked at a stroke rehabilitation center. Every week the staff met to decide who to keep, who to discharge, and who to send to nursing homes for custodial care because they're not improving. And the bed was needed for custodial care because they're not improving and they didn't have a chance to recover. Before then, Spanish had Carla seemed to be heading for the nursing home. She'd been on the unit for a week. She responded to the doctor and therapist. She was a nice lady and her family loved her, but the unit didn't need it that badly. That's when Ellen Jensen, Carlita's speech therapist, got mad. How can you do this to her? She's only been on here for a week. We've got to give her more time. Ellen shook as she spoke. She didn't usually do things like this. She wasn't a crusader, but she felt she had to take a stand here even if others disagreed. Ellen got her point across, though. The doctor relented, giving Mrs. Smith another week. Sure enough, the next day, Carlotta began to squeeze her daughter's hands. By the end of the week, she was able to say a few words. Carlotta left the unit 3 months later, discharged to their daughter's home. This is one tiny example of the power of moral anger. On a larger scale, it can trigger social change, religious movements, and political upheavals. American evolution was fueled by righteous indignation. Don't tread on me. So was the Civil War on both sides, which makes explaining why it was so deadly. At its best, people use their moral anger to fight for their just causes. At its best, people they may risk their lives, careers, and safety to defend their beliefs. If they die with honor. Too much moral anger, however, is dangerous, and it can become a habit, a style of living. The many sides of moral anger. Certainly more people have died as a result of moral anger than all the other guys gave or combined. An outraged husband attacks his unfaithful wife. I'll get 165 videos now. The Hatfields and Cochell shoot each other to avenge the death of the last person killed in the feud. People find ways to justify millions of deaths, from Crusades to World War II, largely a product of the madman's moral vision. More recently, hundreds of thousands have died in the African country of Rwanda, and the anger contender continues in Israel, Northern Ireland, and Iraq. The stand in this chair test for morality, moral superiority. And now you may be wondering if you have a problem with moral superiority and moral anger. There's one way to find out. You'll need another person to do this exercise with you. Ask a friend or family member for help. You also need 2 chairs. Begin by sitting facing each other, just getting comfortable. Talk about anything non-controversial, like the weather. Now stand in your chair and have your partner sit on the floor. Look down on that person and tell them how you feel up there. You might feel great, like, hey, get it up here. I feel in control, powerful. Or I really need natural up here. Like Megan Rain, dude. I belong on top of this mountain, or you may not like it at all. This is gross, I hate it, I feel out of place, shaky. Be honest with your feelings though, you might feel that you really like it up there. But that would be really bad and immoral, so you can't, at least for a little, let anybody know. Be honest and don't edit. Don't say what you think you should say, report exactly what you feel. And have your partner talk about what it's like on the floor looking up at you. I heard this Gail, dude. We'll get off that chair in a minute or 2. But try this first. Look down on your partner and say these phrases. I'm better than you. I know it's right, better than you. I have better values than you. I'm right and you're wrong. I think with the N in Spanish head, I'm trying to shake up the system a little bit. make sure that I get what I want. God damn it. How true do these statements feel? How familiar are they with old friends? Are they complete strangers or a little bit of both? Now reverse places. You sit on the floor and have your partner stand on the chair. Again, share your feelings and observations. Be sure to talk about yourself, not the other person.